Here's something I see all the time with growing businesses, and it just need to be on the lookout for it. And it's when businesses sign contracts and never think about assignment in the future. So, what is assignment? Assignment just means you can transfer this contract to someone else later on. And now you're probably asking, why does that matter? Why do I need to worry about the future? Because at some point, a lot of businesses try to sell. That's how you capitalize on the leverage of the growth. And when you sell, you're not just selling the assets, you're trying to transfer relationships, so customers, vendors, leases. But if your contracts say they can't be assigned without consent, you really run into a problem on that transfer. Now you need some type of approval from the other side just to transfer that relationship over. And the other part is they don't have to say yes. Whoever you're trying to get that transfer from doesn't need to say yes. Or if they do say yes, but they renegotiate terms. They can have higher price, different structure, new conditions. Now your deal gets a whole lot more complicated with your end buyer, or it slows down or falls apart entirely. And then you have the same issues with leases. So you find a buyer for your business, but the landlord has to approve the assignment. And that gives them total leverage right when you're trying to exit that lease. And this isn't a rhetorical problem that, really doesn't happen. This shows up in real deals all the time. And so, what is the practical move? What can you do now to make sure you don't run into this problem in the future? And it's pretty simple. When you enter into contracts, don't just look at price and scope. Look at assignment. Is this contract freely transferable, or is consent required? And then if consent is required, is that consent reasonable or completely discretionary? Because you may not care today, but what we have to worry about is we have to worry about the future, because when you go to sell, that one clause can control whether your deal actually closes or falls apart at the last moment.